Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Happy Fed Day. Today is Fed Day. We get another FOMC key level. We're going to get a FOMC statement and a rate decision. And 30 minutes later, we're also going to get the press conference with Fed Chair Powell. That could provide quite a bit of volatility in the final 2 hours of the day, but we could see quite a bit of range-bound action prior to that announcement. Right now, 23% of ADR in the ES. That is just 15 points of range right now. Super narrow. This thing's been averaging over 50 points on a recent split here. So again, very quiet price action right now. For the most part, we're still seeing an uptrending price move, but we are likely going to see sideways action into the announcement. Once we do see the announcement, we're going to see how we play out. A rejection at the previous high could lead us back to the midpoint very quickly, for example, and we could trade in here. Price could extend this up move through 4100, for example, and extend this thing even higher if it wanted to. So we'll see how the market reacts to the Fed later on. But keep in mind, Fed Day can tend to have a very volatile final 2 hours of the day. And then the Thursday that follows Fed Wednesday can tend to be a super high range day as well. For example, last December here had a decent high range Fed Day, and Thursday was a much bigger range day. Friday extended the move for a huge 3-day move into the weekend. So we could see something similar here as we head into the final 3 days of the week. Let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ right now, range bound action, 30% of ADR, just 84 points of range, still trending higher. Price still trading above the 12K level. For the most part, again, very bullish month last month and closing near the monthly highs. So again, big time zone right here, 12,250. If there is some sort of reaction at the previous month's high, then we could be looking at a snapback to the previous month's midpoint, and perhaps we trade in here a bit. At the moment, we have this range that's been in play. Sometimes we're traded in here, as we could see further trading range action. Sometimes we're down here, trading in here. If we do see further strength, then perhaps we could be looking at a move into the 13K zone up here, which we've seen recently last August, September. So again, a few distributions to keep an eye on, but for right now, narrow range of price action heading into Fed Day. Once we get that number later on this afternoon, we'll get ourselves a new FOMC key level and see how the market responds to that level. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Crude oil was yesterday a strong low. Was yesterday a strong low? Is it a pivot low that could suggest more strength to the upside? Again, as you recall, we had ourselves a narrow multi-day range here that suggests a move of 8 to 10 points up ahead. Was this a downside break attempt? Did it fail here with a strong low? Again, if we use this low here to forecast higher, we're looking somewhere that could take us in the 84 to 86 zone in terms of an upside target up ahead. If we're instead breaking to the downside and we get a failed new high today, it leads us lower, then the move takes us to about 72.5 on the downside. So again, we have some pretty good targets that could be ahead of us here, trying to figure which way we're going out of this range, which has not been the easiest. But we do have this rounded bottom, very clear resistance. If this becomes a strong low here off of 76.25, which is the key range edge, then we could be looking at a decent move that takes us back to the midpoint of that key range, which would be the first time since November. So that could be the path ahead for crude oil. Taking a look here at gold. Gold remains very bullish, very strong 3-month move here, November, December, and again January. This market right now closing at the highs of the month last month, so a huge range like this. The midpoint is here, so watching the edge here. Any rejection could lead us back toward the mid. That could be bought with an upward bias. Again, this market's been very bullish directionally and has seen minimal counter trend moves. So on pullbacks. These pullbacks have mostly been intraday. We've seen an ability to bounce back until proven otherwise. Lastly, looking at the YM. Right now the YM is down just over 0.5%. Still remains within a super narrow range. This range is about 11 or 12 weeks in the making right now, and could suggest that you know, a 2 to 3 month breakout move could be ahead once we get expansion from this range. Right now, trading in a narrow range here, trading just 40% of average range heading into today's Fed day. We are also trading inside a relatively narrow multi-day range. So compressing to a point here. At some point, we're going to get some volatility here on the Fed announcement later today. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into today's Fed day. Everyone have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you in the room. Take care.